Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope your day is going wonderful. Thanks for joining me for Try It Out Tuesday. Now today, first I want to say hello. Second, I'm going to try and do this video without doing a voiceover. Today for Try It Out Tuesday, I'm going to be using not something new, so we're really not trying something out other than a card design, but I really need birthday cards. So I thought we would use my Sweet Street collection. A while back I had created this collection for Spellbinders, and we were going to be using the Party Cupcake Pocket today. We're going to be using the Cookie Corner, and then we're also going to be using the Sweet Treat Box, and then the Sugar Coated Sentiments for my two projects. So let's set these aside, and actually we're going to do a little die cutting with the cupcake first. I'm going to move my coffee out of the way so don't spill it. And then I'm going to bring in some Spellbinders Color Essential cardstock. I chose some bright colors, but neutral tones. I didn't put any pinks in there or purples because I thought I wanted some birthday cards that could be good for everybody. So we have Waterfall, we have Persimmon, we have Beeswax, Rainforest, Portobello, and Timber. All of these are Spellbinders Color Essential cardstocks. So I'm going to start by doing a little die cutting. If I have extra pieces, I always put my extra pieces in the back. So if you're wondering what those floaties are back there, they're just extra bells and whistles. There's even some cherries there that I keep in the packaging. Okay. Now this is the Party Cupcake cupcake liner. I'm not going to use it as a pocket today. I just want to create a cupcake. So it's very easy to do, and I'm going to show you how to do that. But I'm going to create one cupcake, but I want 3 in total. So I'll create one and then do the rest off camera. So I want a blue liner for my first one. And let's see. Chocolate cupcake. That sounds pretty good. And then we're going to add a little orange frosting. Chocolate and orange, they say, go really good together. Although I've tried chocolate and orange, and I'm really kind of not a fan. Although, believe it or not, I'm not a fan of chocolate. I'd rather go vanilla. I know I'm kind of a plain Jane when it comes to that flavors. But, okay, now I'm going to bring in some white cardstock because I want a white swirl. And then we'll use green for a heart. And basically my other 2 cupcakes will be using the same colors, but we're going to kind of switch them all up. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and die cut these out. I'm going to do that real fast. Okay, once we have our elements die cut, you can see the cupcake liner. Actually, I don't know if the camera can pick that up, but it does have some embossed detail. I'm going to go ahead and take my scissors. And where the score line is, it's basically on the very bottom, and then the far left, far right, we're just going to trim that off. And use your score marks kind of as a guide. And this card, if you wanted to make a cupcake pocket, I could say go for it too. Next, we're going to take our little swirlies. We're going to flip it around and take our glue. And then we're going to add little dots behind it. This always reminded me of the Hostess cupcakes that they have with the chocolate icing with the white swirl on it. It always reminds me of that. But this is going to go on the liner and almost in the middle, like so. Next, we are going to flip this around. We're going to grab some foam squares, and I'm going to put 2 on the bottom and then 1 in the middle. And if you do your cupcakes this way, the best part is you get to be the judge on how much cupcake you want to show. And I'm going to go ahead and flip over my icing and add a couple smaller foam squares behind here. And then this is going to go on our chocolate cupcake. And what I mean by how much cupcake shows, If you go from bottom edge to bottom edge of the cupcake, you can see just a little bit of the cupcake showing. But if you want to lower it, you can have more of that cupcake showing. And I think I want more chocolate showing. Whereas if it was a pocket, it would go all the way to the bottom. So that's nice too. Next we're going to take our little heart, and I'm going to go ahead and add this to the top of my cupcake, and the cupcake has a little dimension, and we're good to go. I'm going to go ahead and finish off the other cupcakes, and you can see I went ahead and used this basically the same colors, just kind of mixing and matching, and I made sure that none of the cupcakes had the same two elements and colors. So I think they look really fun. After we have these all good to go, I'm going to go ahead and use the Fluted Classics Rectangle die set. We're going to take some white cardstock, and I want to create a frame with the largest 3 dies. The large die here will cut out an A2 size panel. So I'm not going to use that because I already have an A2 panel cut. So I'm going to line, this is actually a detail piece. Sorry about my phone. I'm going to center that on my panel, and then I'm going to take the die that goes right on the inside, and then we're going to run this through our die cutting machine to create a frame. Okay. We're going to put these aside, and then our frame is good to go. I already added adhesive behind it, just some thin foam strips, but you see the lines in the dotted detail. I just love that. And I'm going to go ahead and remove the release paper off of our foam adhesive, and we're going to go ahead and add our frame to our card base today. Our card base is an A2 size card base, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I'm going to line it up from corner to corner. This way I know it is straight. Maybe we'll put them in the middle and put happy birthday below. What do you think? I think that's what we'll do. So let's start. Okay, next we're going to flip over our cupcakes. We're going to add some adhesive behind it. And I think that's going to look great there. We'll put that in the middle. And then this guy. And I'm going to have to replace my tape. And I want to stamp this with some brown ink, kind of going with the chocolate theme. And so I have espresso truffle. We're going to ink up our happy birthday. I'm going to stamp that at the very bottom, making sure it's centered. And it's stamped beautifully. Okay, now we're going to flip over this one. Well, actually, we don't have to add adhesive. We already did. Lovely. We'll add some adhesive behind our yellow cupcake here. And I think that looks so fun. Now again, if you wanted to make this a pocket, pull pockets, I'd say go for it. Now for finishing touches, I'm going to use my Journey Glaze and Glue, and I'm going to go over the hearts. I like doing this. It does add a little sparkle. And then after we have our glaze and glue, you know what I'm going to do, right? Because because I love doing this effect. I'm going to bring in my sparkle cuts. And I need to add some sparkle. It's really going to pick up all the colors too. And just add some prettiness to our card. I'm going to go ahead and tap off the excess over my can here. And then that is our first project. Pretty easy and simple, but I love cupcakes, and I think this will be great for anybody because there's no pinks in there. Now we're going to move along to our cookie card. Okay, I went ahead and did all of the die cutting for my cookies. Doing the cookies is very easy, guys. I'm going to show you in case you guys are new. Basically, you have the outline piece, and then that will be your background. So I die cut out basically 2 of these with the outline with my Portobello cardstock. And then if you want to add a little decorative topping to your cookie, the rest of these are inserts except for this one. This one is a debossed detail. Kind of looks like an Oreo top, I would say. And then this one, of course, is if you want to take a bite out of your cookie. This is your little bite piece. But to create this one, you would line this up in your rainforest cardstock, and then you would put this and die cut it together to create this. Now this one is the crisscross. You would just die cut this out with regular cardstock. I did that with my rainforest and also rainforest and waterfall cardstock. And then this one, you would do just orange cardstock. You don't need to insert for that. And then to create a chocolate chip, you would want to die cut out the back with a dark brown paper, and then you'd want to add your color on top. And I chose my my orange there, my persimmon. Very easy to create the cookies. So once we have all of our cookies die cut, let's put them together. And I'm going to go ahead and use my glue. And I'm putting my persimmon swirl on my timber cookie, keeping with that color family. So cookies are all done. I'm going to put these aside. Now we need to work on our bakery box. So let's take our dies out. Very easy to create the bakery box, guys. I want a window in there, so we'll die cut this out with white cardstock. Let me grab some white cardstock here. So it's smaller than an A2 panel, so it does leave you a little bit of a border. And then I'm going to create a frame by taking the rectangle die and adding it to the scalloped. And then we're going to put this, die cut out a frame with some Portobello cardstock, and I need to grab a piece. Okay, I'm going to run this through my die cutting machine. I went ahead and added my scallop frame around the window portion, and then used my tape runner and added a piece of acetate on the reverse side. So you can open and close it if you want. If you want to reinforce that score line, go right ahead. But for the most part, I want my cookies to be secure. I thought we would tie a bow around our bakery box to just give it a playful look. So if they wanted to untie it and open it up, they could. But for the most part, I think it looked cute closed on a card. I do want a orange background. So we're going to take our orange panel, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. I'm going to go ahead and adhere that to my card base. Now I'm going to flip over my bakery, my sweet treat box, and we're going to add some foam adhesive behind here. I'm going to add it all around. Okay. Once we have this done, I don't want orange showing behind my background. So we're going to take some white cardstock and go ahead and adhere that to our card base, kind of centering it, and it should cover it nicely. Okay. Next we're going to take our cookies, and we're going to kind of arrange them on that white panel. I do want to add a little bit of sparkle to this, so we're going to go ahead and use our Journey glaze and go over some of the areas on the sprinkles, and then maybe every other line on these lined cookies. There may be some just dots here, and tap it off here. Our cookies have a little bit of pizzazz. Okay. Now I'm going to remove the release paper. Actually, yes, let's remove the release paper off of our bakery window. And then I have some dark brown and white, it's kind of on the thicker side, baker's twine. What we're going to do is tack it here and bring it around the front, and then tack it here, and then I'm going to trim it off. And then I'm going to go down the middle, tack it here, making sure it's centered, and then come around the back and then clip it off. And then we're going to take our bakery box window and place it right over our cookies, centering it. Now we need a sentiment. So in the Party Cupcake Pocket there is a die here, little tag die. I die cut that out with white cardstock, and now we're going to stamp our sentiment that says "Make a Wish." And I'm going to use that same brown ink. This is Espresso Truffle. And this will fit right in that tag. Okay, we're going to take some more of that twine, and then I'm going to tie a bow right through the tag, and then I'll thread it through our center here, and then we'll tie a bow. Trim the tails of our twine, and then that card is good to go. I think that would be a cute little birthday card. So these are my projects today for Try It Out Tuesday, guys. And that one's lifting up. Press that down. Now before I go, I'm going to squeeze in. I did fix the baker's twine. Instead of putting it in the middle, I offset it to the left. I thought the cookies were being obstructed by my tag. You can see here I kind of scooted them over. Did a little card surgery. So I wanted to share that with you before I left. But have a great rest of your Tuesday, a great rest of your week, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye, guys.